scratch your nose and say good evening. Good evening, everybody. Yes. No, I haven't been snorting any snow powder or whatever the hell you guys call it. Just got itchy nose, hay fever. Been out in the garden this afternoon, which was quite a few hours ago, having to get everything prepped for when we move into this portion of the house fully. So I've got to go fix fences, gates, clean up the yard, clear away excess growth. Yeah, just basically make it ready so that outdoor kids can't get out. Anyway, so we're going to carry on with that 4924 from the other night while I wait for... I've got a A2000138, which is a A1398 board, 2015. It's got a weird issue where everything works now except I can't get a display outputs, but I don't know whether I've got no backlight or whether I've got no actual display activity, or I'm not sure what's going on. It's unfortunately not just a simple one as much as I wish it would be. Now we wanted to see what was going on with this one. I thought instead of using the extension cable, because sometimes the extension cable can be a little bit too much on the timing load and stuff like that, kind of put the waveforms a bit skewed out. I'm just going to direct connect and see if we have any luck with this one. Yeah, for all we know it might be fixed. Unlikely, but yeah, we'll try it. Hey Jim, Nick, Pierre, Andre, Dwayne, good morning to you. Ach nee man, it just died. Why is it doing that? What's the current at point 380? I swear it was giving us CPU activity before. I seem to recall it giving us CPU before. And now it gives us nothing. Ungrateful little board. 600. It's kind of making the motions. Unfortunately, it's not making the heat. Okay, this might be an infrared camera job. We're not getting any heat on the CPU. At least nothing substantial. Certainly not 10 odd watts worth. So we've got something else going on here. So we're going to bring out the infrared camera, which will make Jim happy. We'll see what on earth is going on. I don't recall it doing this the last time we played with it, but well, things can change when they sit around. Maybe it's because I got the display connected, maybe it's drawing more for the backlight. I'm not sure. We'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah, straight into the webcam. I can almost... It's around here, but not quite. This desk is getting messy. I can feel it on my wrist. Okay, it looks like it's the... Oh, it is the CPU. So the CPU says I'm alive. Okay, that's definitely up to power now. It wasn't exhibiting... Yeah, we'll wait for it to cool down a fraction. Well, looks like it's Ingenuity flying around. Instead of on Mars, we're flying on planet Mac. Shuffle this stuff off a bit more. It is curious that it's doing that boot cycle thing where it comes up for a little bit, shuts down, turns, and then repeats it. Like I said, it's kind of like Well, it's quite reminiscent of the 00165s. They're notorious for doing that. And when they do it, it's the end of the world. Okay, we've got a little bit of warmth coming up over here. Not sure it'd be under there. Hmm. It's probably just the Thunderbolt chip getting warm. Oh yeah, DJ. Enjoy going at your IPA. Because under there we've got the Thunderbolt controller. Now, I believe Yummy Steak will be watching this later, and he made a comment about a supposed resistor, sense resistor, that seemed like it wasn't there. I'll try to bring it up. There, here we go. This one here. It actually is. It's damaged. But it's not really something that we care about. But what I might do is actually remove that chip that's under it, because it might be corroded. Hey Travis. Barry's here. Yeah, sorry, I've been meaning to get here earlier, but unfortunately there are other things that I had to get sorted out. And that included the ultrasonicing of the board that I really do need to fix. Well, that's a fairly amusing removal. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with that chip. So quite honestly, I'm just going to put it back on. Except I lost it. I think that one's gone. Gone with the wind. Oh wait, no, found it. Jim can't sleep. Another one of those nights for you. No, I can't guarantee a daily stream. I'm sorry, folks. I don't get enough work in for that sort of thing. It's certainly not easy work. Stream work has to be slightly easy. Difficult stuff means I can't do it on stream. Like trying to solve the 820, what was the board? The 928 problem that I had. That took a lot of off-stream brain power. I'm just seeing if there's a failure in a trace around here or something. But it looks all intact to me. DeAndre, I have some FZ GPU schematics which don't render nicely. Just send them through to me and I'll have a look. It's probably just a scaling issue. Just email them through or put them on a G drive and give me the address. Send through examples of what you don't like. That looks fine. I don't think there's any fault there. Hey, Noel, rather, Max. But yeah, the 928 fault, that was extremely, it was the sort of thing where if I had been chatting, I probably would never have spotted it. It was a teeny tiny bit of damage on a resistor on the SMC reset line. And believe me, it was minuscule amount of damage, but it was enough. And then swap that resistor out, and lo and behold, it all works just perfectly dandy fine. Except for the bad battery. But I did add that to my list of things to check when you get 5 volts on the CD32 15 series chips or 17 series chips, I suppose. What the hell am I looking for here? You're working before and now you're not. And that's a hair, not a crack. Where is it? Yeah, it's a hair. Made me doubt myself there for a second. So we're getting up to SO, but then it reboots after all. It's really sounding more like a dead CPU to me. But then again, we are getting power to the CPU. Okay, anyone want to throw in a theory? Bad BIOS. Didn't we test that theory the other night? I'm fairly sure Thunderbolt is meant to warm up like that. Seems normal enough. Always seems to be a bit of a power hungry section. Let's see, where's the BIOS chip? No, it looks like we haven't changed the BIOS. Alright, fair enough. Bad RAM. Would that cause... I don't know, I haven't put a speaker on, so I guess I don't know. I suppose that's a fairly decent suggestion. I can't deny that. Yes, let's explore that one. I will have to go get a speaker, so it won't be long. I don't even know if this is the right. This isn't the right main board. In fact, I don't actually recognize this one. But you see, the battery doesn't line up. Will the speakers work? The speakers should at least work for us, though. That's all that matters in this case. Yeah, this is an earlier board. Sorry, earlier chassis. But it has speakers, and that's what matters. Oh wait, no, the battery does line up. Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, finally discovered that after all these years. Hey, Sutterbridge. Alright, now you're going to have to be my ears because I basically never can hear the RAM beeps on these things. So if it is beeping, you better tell me. I can't hear it. Nope. Don't think this one's beeping. Hey, Vladimir. Just das Nacht beep. Oh, did that just happen? No. I would have smelt that. I think that's what killed the previous board that was in here. Zippo there? What? Can't. Oh, right. Yeah, can't hear a thing. Right. Alright then. Well, it was a worthy sort of thing to look at. Now, I'm just trying to remember. Did we or did we not get green light? I'm pretty sure we did the other night. Travis, why would you feel complete if I speak in Afrikaans? Ag nie Afrikaans praat nie. Yeah, that. Fairly sure this is dead. I asked that inject voltage. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is going to sit with the 165s. The same behavior. Arr. Hey, Daniel, what version of Flex Board View are you using? Well, you're not wrong about... That is weird how... Everything... Oh, I know what's happened here. Okay, this is a... yeah, I know what's going on with your FZ file. What it is, it's a scaling thing. And let me show you the schematic. So look at this. the pins, the actual circles or the pads, or whatever, are minusculely small. So they're really, really, really tiny. It's a scaling issue in the FZ file. I'm going to have to find out what... I'll have to dump the FZ in raw format and then find out, because at the header of the FZ file it will tell you what units it's using, and sometimes they throw in one that I haven't coded for. So once I find out what the scaling unit it's using is, then I'll be able to fix it all up. Let's try to get an idea. So like, if we say take this position here, what is this? 7 by... Yeah, the scale is completely jacked. Okay, so if you look at this position, right down the bottom of the screen, it's 5 by... It's basically 5 millimeters by 2.7 meters. Okay, so 2.7 meters. And then you go over here, and it's basically saying the board is 6.6 meters wide. So, yeah, that's a board bigger than this room, according to the scaling here. And so that's what's gone wrong. It'll probably be in... I don't know. When I open it up, I'll find out. And then I'll just add in that detection for that particular scaling, and it'll be fine. So, yeah. No troubles there. Thanks for sending that through to me. So it'll give me a chance to be able to update the FZ decoder so it covers that particular units format. Actually, I wonder if we can just do that. Sorry, don't mind me. Slight detour here. Now do some coding. Nothing unique here. This is, you can get all this code in open board view anyway. Let's see, split. FZ is a bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest. Oh. Okay, so yeah, so here's this units thing. So it might be a different case, like they might be using lowercase unit or something. Anyway, but it's kind of curious. I've actually already got this flipping thing here. Alright. Let's see. Okay. What was that damn file called? GTX. Dump. Quit. And okay, so we do have units millimeters. So why didn't you pick that up properly? My multiplier wrong? Should that actually be... That should be 25,400, I think. no. So 4118. That actually should be the opposing. Not. Give me a pen. Paper, for goodness sake. What kind of a man am I to have no paper? Wait a second. No, well, the funny thing here is that it's actually, according to the dump, it's unit millimeters, but it's wrong. Okay, so unit millimeters, Flexboard View is actually reading that, okay, but the file is wrong. Okay, so we've got unit millimeters, but if you think about it, look where it's put in the size of things. It's talking about 1.7 meters, 1.1 meters, 5 millimeter down, yeah. So this should actually be not unit millimeters. This should be unit thou. I wonder if I can decode it this way. Now, the only reason why other software represents it properly is because by default the other software assumes thou. And so if you actually did send the other software a file that was properly in millimeters, then it would break those other programs. So this is a case of Flexboard View actually decoding it correctly, but the file is incorrect. So save. So we go FZ. Damn you. What have I done wrong here? Trying to think how. Well, look, I'll just prove it anyway. We'll momentarily disable the automatic scaling, rebuild the file. Okay. And there you go. And there's all your pads and everything looking proper again. So yeah, it's a case of the file is incorrectly formatted, or it's got a header in it that is incorrect, but because a lot of other programs don't actually realize they're supposed to be reading that units line, that scaling factor, they're blindly getting it right, but it's technically not right. So that's a bit of a awkward situation. Really, that file needs to be re-encoded. Let's see, let me fix this for you. Paul has forgotten his... I've forgotten my secret codes, damn it. Yep, forgotten my own secret codes. Oh well, bugger. Oh well. Well, I mean, you can put in the option to disable scaling or change the scaling, except it's technically not the right way to deal with this. The right way to deal with this is to actually have people fix the file because the trouble is when you start putting in compensation for mistakes in files, you end up creating new corner cases that will produce incorrect results for legitimate files at times. Yeah, I'm not going to say it will happen with this one. I'm just saying it's a bad path to take in terms of software development. So it would be better to be able to instead find a way to either eliminate that incorrect units millimeter from the original file. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that one. Yeah. The easiest thing for me to do this in this case is actually convert it from an FZ into something like a BVR, which is what I was trying to do, except I forgot what my secret codes are. That's very shameful that I forgot my secret codes. But look, I'll tell you what, when I'm finished with this failure of a board repair, I will go and remember what my secret code key combinations are, and then I will send you a BVR file which will do the same job. Yeah. Well, that was a fun bit of entertainment. Funnily enough, that is how I had one person, I think it was the person who produces the program board view, they accused me of stealing their code because we both had the same bug. And that bug was that we didn't read the units file entry line. And so because of that behavior, he thought that we'd stolen his decoder, but really it was the fact that we both omitted to realize that there was, at least in the FZ specification, this ability to be able to set the units. That took a long time to sort that guy out and calm him down, because he was pretty adamant that we stole his code. And it's like, dude, it's open source, for goodness sake, you know, go check your own code, your code versus our code. No, you stole our code, my code. It's like, no, we really didn't. We just both didn't know that FZ files have that specification available to it, because guess what? It's a non-documented format, at least not publicly. So everyone just derives the format based on the examples that they got. And we just simply never had an example previously that contained that units line. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the board view guy. So it seems like in that case he hasn't updated his code. Either that or he's just deliberately ignoring the line or something like that. Anyway, right, I don't know what's going on with this. I might just put this to the side so I can work on this other board, because this other board is actually one that I need to... Yeah, it's a customer board. It's not just a donor turn into a possible working machine. So basically the problem with this is a 138, is it? Yeah, 138. Is that I cannot for the life of me get things to go. Now there was damage here on the screen, as you can see. Screen connect, this is all liquid damage. As far as I can tell, it's all fixed up, even with my little dodgy bit of wire there. Just checking in the... Is that a pin skewed off in there? Is that a pin skewed? That's a frickin' pin skewed off in there. What are the chances? What are the chances of finding something daft like that? God damn it, it means I'm going to have to replace this connector, and I'll just ultrasonic this damn thing. Curse, curse, curse. Well, that'll explain a million and two things. Unbelievable, man. I have no idea what pin that is. Looks like it's one of the data lines. So that means I've got to take that connector most likely off. We'll test it, but I think for the sanity, my own sanity, it would probably be advisable for me to take that connector off. Okay, now I know this is a 138, which is the 15 incher, and we're plugging it into a 13 incher, but I've been told by the gurus of Mac that I can get away with this just as soon as I find the power connector. Ah, there it is. I'm a bit miffed about that because I actually put effort into taking that connector off another board that I thought was working good and fine. Clearly it was not. Clearly it was lies. Macho lies. Okay, I am going to, much to the boredom of everybody, put the heatsink compound on. Yeah, it should be enough, that'll spread out. Like I said, I have been burned in the past in the days of the Athlon CPUs for not having heat sinks on. I don't wish to relive those very expensive days anymore, so I do tend to be a little extra cautious when it comes to running devices without their heat sinks. I know rationally it is not an issue, but then again rationally that pin in that LVDS connector should not have been bent. I mean, there are other issues on this board that had to be fixed as well, but the fact that there was a bent pin in there, that was just like, bravo. And I'm also squabbling tonight with a supplier from AliExpress who seems to have sent me fake CD3215 COOs. I have a feeling they're BO3s and not COOs, because they seem to be legit when you look at them from the underside, but they've been resurfaced and restamped and lasered. And if it wasn't for the fact that I did a bit of a dodgy job on the resurfacing, there's a bit of sort of black paint running down the edge of the chip, they probably would have got away with it. Anyway, let's see how we go. We're going to be looking for basically just a blinking folder on this. And green light blink. Okay, so we've got our green light blink, so we know we've got some life. I may still have to replace that connector. It could be me jamming that in as pushed it back again. And I've got a backlight, so that's good. I wasn't getting a backlight before. It also explains why it was random in that case. Because every now and then, if I left it long enough, the screen would... there we go. The goddamn pin in that connector. You know, I have spent 4 days chasing this fault. I've been back and forth trying to find out when the display gets detected and whether there's a MUX issue, whether maybe the HDMI port's sort of interfering with it, maybe the display port's been shutting it, just round and round and round and round, and what do you know, it turns out it's just a flippity flip flip flip. Flippity flip. 4 days wasted. Damn. Well, I am glad that we have located it. Thank you very much, everybody. You all helped me. You didn't really, but you're my rubber ducky tonight, and you've done the job as a rubber ducky very well. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think we should definitely replace that connector. I think it would be irresponsible of us to keep that one, because the pin is now fatigued. Some people might say, no man, it runs. leave it connected and go for it. And so, nope, I cannot live with that sort of thing. I may have a shitty looking workshop. Damn it, YouTube probably just unsubbed me or something then. I may have a trashy looking workshop. My workbench is certainly not the prettiest and I don't keep it as clean as I would like to. But when it comes to the quality of the job that I'm doing, I will make sure that the customer gets the best that I can deliver, including doing things like completely taking a 3437 or 165 board back out just so I can stick the little rubber shroud for the fan back on. I know a lot of people just leave that off, but if it comes with it, I'm putting it back on there, even if even if I've just spent 5 minutes putting it back together. It's just who I am. I don't maintain my own personal standards highly, but I will maintain high customer standards. Unless they really tick me off, and then I... just kidding, not really. Steve K, you know I won't. You know I won't. Yes, I said itty bitty, that's right. It wasn't something else. See, I mean, look at it. I got bits of fluff tard hanging off my nozzle there. Stuff like that. Very annoying. AT David, yes, we've had our boring old Labour Day here in Queensland today. Rather boring. Personally, I feel like there are too many public holidays. And worst of all, they cram them all into about the first half of the year. And so you barely get started with work, so to speak, until after June. And then before you know it's Christmas. I find it very frustrating the amount of holidays that people get. And I guess it's more the distribution of the days being all clustered together. I do love using hot air wicking. It is a very nice way of cleaning up those pads without risking damage. Well, certainly not as much damage. Okay, I'm just going to get my MacBook parts. Travis, you're talking about the other... What? Oh, wait, you're talking to someone else. My bad. Okay, these are... What I just spat out there is actually a LCD side connector. This is not really a host side connector or server, whatever. Hence it not having the little dimples, which would make my life much easier. And unfortunately, you order them from AliExpress with dimples, and they arrive without dimples, which is very frustrating, because dimples make it so much easier to line these suckers up. Anyway, we'll do without. It's just that itty bit more difficult. I'm just gonna tag it in there. Just be delicate initially, and then none. was I saying about certain words starting with the letter F today on Paul's Street? Brought to you by our sponsors, Apple. And yeah, I know I shifted it. Don't panic. I know I shifted that wire. I've got to turn the board around. The trouble here is that I'm trying to turn to suit the board, whereas really I should turn the board to suit me. Hey Tony W. So I don't want to grab too hard on those pins because I will deform them. Okay, that's a really crappy join there, but it's not a problem. Because we're just tacking right now. Alright, I know crappy joins when I see them. I see them every day. Coming right out of my own soldering hand. Don't need you young whippersnappers to tell me how bad I am. Okay, so we've got 2 tack. That's good. Stick 1 more tack on the front here, and then we can come in with the hot air assist. Yeah, we're gonna have to hot air assist this one outright. The reason why it goes onto the brass of the connector or whatever it is because it doesn't have a lot of thermal mass, so the solder just jumps straight to that because it heats up first. Yeah. This will get us where we need. A bit of assist. And beautiful connections. Robots have excellent soldering skills. Humans are terrible. Okay, I'm deliberately bringing this little wire down and out of the way so that we can do our little bit of a sweep sort of thing. Yeah, Steve, would have to check that. Fortunately, it's a pretty new one, so hopefully I haven't damaged it. Yeah, I can see these are a little bit skewed, but I'm not going to get that pedantic tonight. Okay, bringing our hot air assist. And I'll just go and burn that connector, why not? Oh, Walter, yeah, there were some great comments on the previous one. Apparently it's my channel. So, yeah, I should do maybe I should do heart surgery next in 10 minutes. It is always interesting. I would love to know the psyche of these sort of people, you know, what compels them that they have to make comments like that. I'm just trying to slowly pick up the excess solder here. It always gets a little bit tricky at these last moments. Seems like it's never going to completely come off, but then yeah, you get down to like, we've got down to 2 now. And there we go. Jim, the gist of the comment was simply that the video was too long, mate. 3 hours was too long for a long live stream. It's like, alright, I'll magically shorten that next time. Okay, so this is the wire that we need to go to this pin. It's probably not even required, but okay, we're in. Damn it, Dave Jones is now saying like Flynn. So be quiet, Dave Jones. Damn it. It's 2 now. That's a double failure there. I'm just feeling a little elated for the fact that I actually seemingly have solved this finally. Beautiful connection, that one. Almost as good, that one, but definitely that's a top marks connection, that one. I like that one. Puts me to shame in other places. Yeah, that's what I was just checking for. Make sure we got all the pins connected. That one is not connected, so we've got to go in and give it a little bit of a touch. That's a bit too much of a touch. We'll come back to that shortly. We just need to check all the others first. It can be difficult sometimes to see if the pins are properly connected, simply because of the angle that you're working at, the distances. So that's why you see that one there. That I think that's loose. It's got a little bit of a gap under it, so I'm just going to touch it up too. If I touch it up, I mean, it'll leave a massive Hershey's kiss on it. Need some more hot air here. The solder bridge, I'll tell you what, I couldn't give a damn response on that one. They come out of factory worse than that. Like I said, there are some things I will care about, like a bent pin, and there are some things I won't care about, like a connector being within the allowable tolerance range of offset. Can't tell me that your TQFPs aren't occasionally like that. Maybe this is how I ruined the original pin. I'll go gentle this time. Because you've got to get the flux out of that. Even in ultrasonic it doesn't always come out so good. Solder Bridge is just upset because they're not doing any SMC reballs tonight. Although I might. Still a bit of junk in there. We'll give it a couple more light brushes, and that should be good enough to use. We'll just heat it up a bit as well. Ah, gross! I got flipping IPA on my bare skin. Hey, he's fixing things here. Hey, fixing things. So that's looking much better. When that goes into the ultrasonic, it will come out just fine. Stick our heatsink back on. I might just pop this straight into the chassis. Now that we know we have found the fault, or at least we damn well believe we found the fault. Could still be wrong. Could easily be wrong. Hey, Thomas Bulver, welcome. Okay. So yeah, I'll stick this into the original chassis now and see how we go. Do I ever allow myself some vacation? I haven't had a vacation since 2000 and... well, 2000. End of 2000. That was the last time I had a vacation. And the only reason why that was a vacation is because I was told to leave South Africa. And, well, yeah, that pretty much sums that up. That's its own story. So yeah, I had a fun time packing everything up, learning some more life lessons. An important life lesson too I found is that in almost all instances, you're better off just leaving whatever trash you have in that country in the country. Don't bother bringing home all your pots and pans and your magazines and your books and stuff like that. Not unless they're truly, truly important books like, you know, computer graphics, guides and principles, or algorithms and complexity, stuff like that. But yeah, for general stuff, just leave it there, give it away to the people around you. Don't cart the trash to your back with you, because you'll get it back months later and you'll go, why the hell did I bring this back? I just wasted thousands of dollars in shipping for stuff that I really actually just realized I don't care about. Anyway, that's my advice. If you're shifting back to a country or whatever, don't bother taking your crap. You're really not going to miss it. It's not that much of a keepsake. It really isn't. It's just trash. Fixing things for another 3-hour stream. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm kind of whacking out here, a bit tired. Thank you for the five Aussie dollars at that. Wholesome Australian dollars. Quite frankly, the Australian dollar is ticking me off at the moment. The damn thing will not drop below 70 cents. It's killing me, man. Because I want to bring in my money from PayPal, and it's all in US dollars. And right now, the US dollars has been a complete, absolute weakling compared to the Australian dollar. Australian dollar's given it a real kicking. I want it back to where it was about a year ago, which was around about 50 cents. That would be nice. Yeah, Volta, cheaper to replace, agreed. Yep. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I wanted to inspect the damage on this. Wanted to see if we had made... Okay, yeah, you can see a gouge there. See that gouge in the middle? That's where that pin was. So fortunately we haven't lifted up any pins in the connector. If we had, we can just replace these, thankfully. The 1398 and 1502s, they're very easy to replace these cables on. So if you ever damage a cable on either of those, don't fret. You can just replace it. I mean, it's a little bit of fiddling around. You've got to take the screen off, and then you've got to take the clutch cover off. But it's not a near impossible task or anything like that. Okay, give me an option. Oops. There we go. Happy bong. Oh, beautiful. That is a glorious sight for me to see. That's a $300 sight for me. If you have spare time, come visit Denmark. That, I don't think will ever happen. I've done my years of travelling, and I've been very happy that I did what I did when I did do what I did. Now, I think I'll be sitting tight for a while. Yep, that's all looking good. We will test the GPU performance. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a terrible looking screen, but we'll still test it. Hey Sonia, good to see you. Didn't realise you're there. Hey, yummy steak. See, you're still writing your epic follow-ups. Okay, I don't have a battery connected. Might just do that now. Hopefully without making things go kablammy. Ach, niemand. There we go. Battery. Okay, battery's at 100%. Yeah, the mortgage. Well, the mortgage isn't too bad, to be honest, fixing things. Yeah, my minimum payment's like 180, 179 a week. I pay about 300 a week. I'm on a 3-year fixed, and I'm hoping by the time the 3-year fixed is up, I will have enough money in reserve to just pay it outright. Because the loan's only 140,000. I figure, you know, it's like 1,400 licenses of Flexboard View or something like that. What are we doing? Okay, so we've got 40 frames per second. That's pretty good. Things are heating up. That's good. See if it runs off battery. It runs off battery. No problem. Alright. It's fantastic. I'm glad that I took the moment to come back and fix this, because believe me, that's been wigging me out for far too long. And good to know also that I double confirmed that you can use a 13-inch screen on a 15-inch board just to do the testing, so long as the years are the same. It's got to be 2015 and 2015. Okay, shut down. Yeah, I think. Well, we kind of got lucky with this one. To be fair, the house needs another 100,000 in it. So if this place was done, let's say, in a reasonably livable state, you probably would have paid 280 for it. Okay, so we paid 180, um, and yeah, we're happy enough with that. But around here, anything over 250, you can get yourself a pretty decent place. Anything from quarter acre to half acre, and a reasonable block house. Joe, whereabouts are you? But yeah, I mean, this is rural North Queensland, so it's got its own quirks and charm. Okay, so now I'm going to have to ultrasonic this board again, I think. Or maybe I can actually just wash that area. Didn't actually do that much flux damage in that area, so I'm going to have another look, and maybe I can just do a, what do you call it? A scrub brush. Because the rest of it is all perfectly intact. I even have replaced the VRMs on this one. Most of these boards with the, what is it, the 7808 or 7806 VRMs, you replace them with the 3030s or something similar to that. When you get them in, most of the time, it's probably not a bad idea to do the change, because chances are otherwise I'll just come back a few months later and you'll have to do it anyway. Hey, what's wrong?
Would you like a chicken toasted sandwich?
Would I like one? That's kind of a rhetorical question.
I've only got the white bread.
White bread's fine, I'll live with that. Orange and apple juice? Awesome. You're looking like you really should be asleep. Oh, you don't have to do that then.
No, I'm tired, but I don't feel like sleeping.
Oh, okay, you're gonna be okay? Alright. Alright, looks like we're having a celebratory night. I'm gonna get a chicken sandwich. And I fixed a board. Okay, let's have a look at that area. Yeah, I see. I'm kind of tormented here. Yeah, that will wash out. Oops. It is only that area. It's not a high density area, and it's gone a little bit on the other side. There's a little bit of a burn mark there. That was naughty of me. I think I'll give it a try washing it out. I could try just stick the end into the ultrasonic. Because I don't want to go through and ultrasonic the entire board again. I mean, ultrasonicking is nice and good, but it does still have the potential for some issues to crop up. So I prefer not to expose it to more than I have to. So as you can see, I've changed them to 3030 chips there. One tip I've found, and thanks to Tim for this actually, is don't even bother redoing the solder on them. Just take the chip off and put down the new one using the existing solder. Yes, it is lead-free solder, but it seems to be more consistent in results than trying to redo the pads and everything yourself with leaded solder. Got my jab yet? No, I haven't actually. Probably should, because that chap in Townsville jumped ship and now goodness knows where he is. Oh, that's right, he handed himself in. So yeah, that is cause for concern, because goodness knows how many people that got spread to. I might have to use the contact cleaner on this. Ah, I gotta sneeze. I've got a few friends who've already taken who've already got the shot. They're still here. Ow. Just damn well poke myself in the eye. Yeah. The main trick here is just dilute the hell out of the flux. You can never truly, I think, get rid of it all 100%, but if you can dilute it enough, then you can get away with not ultrasonicking. It's not that I don't want to ultrasonic, it's not that I'm sort of like thinking, I don't want to spend the time. Like I said, I just don't want to expose the board to too many cycles of it. So if I can get away with just a bit of alcohol and brushing, then that'll be good. I mean, you're going to have to be pretty damn picky to complain about this. And I do need to blue UV that little bit of wire. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, it's into my age group now. Brilliant. I'll tell you what, I'm looking the over 50 now with the excess facial growth and everything. I'm actually doing it in preparation of a bank heist so that I can just like pretend it wasn't me. It's like, look, yeah, I haven't got a beard. I'm young. And they'll be like, you're right. It totally doesn't look like that 50-year-old that robbed the bank. Bushranger pool. Now there's something. As a kid, I always wanted to just live in the bush. Not a big fan of society. Still not a big fan of society. Travis, when I do my new workshop, I will actually be getting those adjustable benches. I think when it comes to working with the microscopes, a lot of us have got really awful setups. We don't, we're either crouching down too low, or we need to use those adjustable tables to get the proportions right. Spread it out a bit. Spread it out a bit. If you don't spread it out, it's too thick and that won't cure properly. There we go. Now time to blind everybody. Who's Lars talking to? Why not buy an HDMI microscope like the Northridge Fix guy? Not sure what you mean by that, Lars. Are you meaning instead of a optical one, just use a what do you call it? A digital one? Because there's no way I could use digital. Once you get used to using optical, there's no going back. I mean, you lose the depth of field. You lose, you don't have your stereoscopic vision anymore, and the latency is a bit of a problem as well. And there's no real replacing the literal, or not literal, but the effective pixel count of the optical system. Okay, that looks cured now. It's sort of taken on a glassy, darker blue, so that's good. Do you know how to fix iPhones? I can fix a certain number of faults with iPhones, but I'm certainly not what I would consider a high-end iPhone repair person. A lot of the faults that I get in, I send off to other people. It's just easier that way. Okay, Barry. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate that. Alright, well, I'm going to set this aside. I'm very happy with this. This is now working. But I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to reassemble it tomorrow. And that will give it a chance to relax through the night and give Murphy a chance to come along and spread his discontentment on it. Let's see if it sticks. Okay, so shoot, what was that job number again? 577. Okay, just need to make the update on the job code. 577. Internal bent pin on LVDS connector replaced. Whew. Alright. Now, this one here, I have a horrible feeling is going to be like the 165 boards, where it's just some sort of weird failure of the CPU or something. As far as I know, they do use the same CPU, don't they? Yeah. So it's just got that feeling that this is like a 165 failure. So I'm feeling like I'm going to just waste my time on that at this point. So I'll have a look at some other boards that I've got to work on. So let's see, 451. Okay, 451. I know that's another. This is another 165. Well, this is a 165 with exactly that fault. 427, I think, is also the same. Why faulty? Yes, because I'm too stupid to work it out. Apparently. What have we got here? Very, very slow boot. That's probably EFI issue, damaged ME region. This one. Alright, this is one that we fixed up the other night, but then it failed again, so I'm a little bit disinclined to repair it a second time. Oh dear lord, this one. Oh, this is probably definitely going to be a donor board. It's a 3437. That should go into the ultrasonic clean, in all honesty. It's the flux. This is what happens when you leave flux on your board. This is probably a good example to show you. What's causing the artifacts? Just slightly off screen. There we go. Yeah, all fixed. It was just slightly off screen. Have you visited the Holy CD board since the other night? CD board. Which CD board was that? Anyway, this is an example of why you need to wash the flux off. Okay, this is what happens when you leave flux on. See how it's going green? Look at that. That's not good. It's probably because it's a bit of an active flux. And wow, that's some really cool, terrible crowbar style rewiring job there, Paul. So I'm going to guess this has been, based on that type of work, I'm going to guess this has been here at least a year and a half, 2 years already. So yeah, 2 years worth of flux sitting on the board like that, and it's doing its best to suck the copper right out, hence going green. Either that or it's some sort of ingredient in the flux itself. Seems unlikely. This should go into the ultrasonic. No audio? The board that looked... Oh, Miles. Right. Right. No, that's fixed. That's fixed. That ended up being a resistor on the SMC Reset L line. I have ordered the C3217s, and I've also ordered ISL 9240s. So yeah, I've done both. But now it seems I have to order more 3215 COOs, since the ones I've got are duds or fakes or something. They're not... All I know is they are not real COOs. Okay, I'm just looking for my 1466 box right now. Oh, there it is. Ah. Just taking the heat sinks off these things. Yeah, I'll stick this on the ultrasonic for tomorrow deck. I guess we have another look at this one. The 4924, like I said, I'm fairly sure it's going to just be like the 165. I don't have a lot of hope for it. So what went wrong with this one? What are you doing over there? Who are you? You. Right, this is the one from that I got the other day, and it was the one that I said had the kind of damage I don't really like, but then I kind of changed my mind a little bit and thought maybe I can actually fix this one up. All sys power goods been smashed, a bit more smashed, Hulk smash, Hulk snot. What was the SMC like on this? Oh yeah, SMC was clean. Yeah, let's have a shot at this. Let's pointlessly try to fix this one. Yeah. Hulk very angry when he attacked this board. Hey, Infomedia. Yeah, we've got at least 2 or 3 different kinds of copper oxide going on here. It's going to require a full half Rossmann of flux. The HS105 is definitely dead. Oh man. Alright, now we scrub this back with some good old 80-20. Let us see if we have something that looks a little bit more plausible in repair. Alright, not exactly what I would consider stellar quality, but let's get in at it with a knife and see how it goes. Start just scratching the hell out of these. Pretty much need to do them all. I kind of feel like those guys that do those videos where they take some absolutely destroyed rust bucket of a tool or something that they found in some ancient dump site, and then they restore it back to its original form. Mind you, 50% of the parts on it are recreated anyway. But it's fun watching that stuff, especially all the lathe work and the machinery work. I kind of wanted to do videos like that, where there really wasn't any talking, it was just just doing the job and having the text indicating what was happening. But for some reason I can't quite seem to get board repair videos to behave in a way, or I can't seem to record them in a way that makes that work. There's just something about those tool restore videos that almost anybody can watch and enjoy. I guess because you can sort of appreciate most people know what they're dealing with in terms of, okay, that's a screw that he's got to fix up, or that's a piece of metal that he's trying to, resurrect, things like that. Hey Daniel, a wire brush would probably do a lot more damage, at least with um, the Zacto knife. I got better control over it. Because you don't want to go too far. You just want to get rid of the corrosion and then see what's under there. So as you can see, it's looking quite a bit better now already. They spend a fortune on editing, yeah, they certainly do. That's the other thing, I'd love to have a professional editor, but that's not going to happen. It's a bit like that Alex Steele guy. Once you got a professional editor and they start mixing in those awesome soundtracks and things like that, it was just high quality watching. Alright, we'll get rid of this 105 section. Probably when I get settled into the new place, this place, but when everything's been set up, and I get myself my new, iMac and stuff like that, and I can sit down and actually do video editing without it being a struggle, then I probably will consider doing edited videos again. Hey babe. Alright, okay. Break time. You can safely put it on that corner there. There's no...
I accidentally burnt the first one.
You burnt what?
I burnt the first one.
Oh, you burnt the first one?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
not badly, so I'm having it because it doesn't bother me. But I don't know if that's underdone.
Oh, right, okay, so it was swinging wildly and other... Alright. Food time. Which means cleaning time. Ah. Some methylated spirits. At least the nice thing about methylated spirits, which is actually just 98 point whatever percent or 95% ethanol, and water's primarily the rest of it, and then there's a bittering agent in there. The nice thing about using metho is that if you do happen to contaminate your eating surface, then you'll know, because it'll taste horribly bitter. Okay, gloves off. I'm just going to go wash my hands before I touch this, just in case. Mm. There is something very refreshing about juice all the time. It's like I have a real problem with orange juice because you get that kick. If it's good orange juice, it's got that bitterness about it. It gives you that rush of energy kick, but only as you're sipping it, sort of thing. So as soon as you stop sipping it, you lose that rush of energy. So you go back to sipping it. And before you know, you've drank 2 liters of orange juice for the day, and it's like that's not a good thing. Where is celery? Do you mean salad? Mm. Mal and Tony, the eBay scammers have done that to me in the past. I um I sold my Marantz CD deck. It was a CD. I can't remember. I don't know. Had a PM57 and a CD something. Anyway, it was a really nice CD deck, and I sold it on eBay, and they said, "Oh, it doesn't work properly," and I was like, "Fine." So they sent it back. I opened it up, and they'd changed the guts out of it entirely, and I was like, "Damn it, got scammed." See you, Joe. That was it. Marantz PM57 was the amplifier I had. I can't remember what the CD deck was. All I know is it was an excellent combination for the sort of music I listen to. Yeah, I didn't try it. It was soft sort of thing. On the other hand, I got myself a nice Yamaha 5 CD deck, and it was technically a very good unit, but I just couldn't handle. I did not like the sound of it. It was just too. I don't know. It was made for modern metal or something. Yeah, Miles, you could not blow the sub amps. What did you do? Turn up to 11? And I had KEF speakers. I think they were the Q20s. So yeah, so you had the PM57, the KEF Q20s, and yeah, so I can't remember the deck's name. Hey, Rilla. Oh, sesame seeds on there. Huh. Set the receiver to by amp mode. Do not. Damn. That's no good. Huh. I never used that facility of chunking or merging the two channels. I can see how that would happen. Tried to do the bread and milk and honey, mix them fry, cast on natural butter. Now it sounds like a bit more of a dessert, Vladimir, than it does a sandwich. So fixing things, you bought an OS 105 as the 4-stroke one, right? People are going back to Nitro, really? Okay. Now, I still like my electric, but I was doing electrics back in the 90s, like 91, 92. Back then it was a case of you just had a fat relay to turn it on, or you just used 2 posts. Kind of like the, pardon me, we're basically using the gear out of the Tamiya radio cars. Doll hairs. You watch American Dad? Burravos and beer. Thank you, Xe. That was the only place I've ever heard doll hairs being used instead of dollars. American Dad. Well, I could. Thankfully, I ate it fast enough, though. Alrighty. I don't eat as fast as Rossman. I don't know how he does it that quickly. The man is like, I don't know, souped up on juice or something. The speed in which he can type is very impressive. Went a moment too long then. Right. Time to clean my hands with some contact cleaner. Just kidding, not really. I'll use metho. I prefer the ethanol. I prefer the ethanol rather than the isopropanol. It's a cat. Ow. Yep. That's how you know when, pardon me, that's how you find out if you've got any cuts and scratches on your hands. That's from the cats earlier. It's always from the cats. Alrighty, time to get some new gloves on. Holy dooly, it's 1:45, and that's not a good thing, and I've got work tomorrow. They do use IPA in the hospitals, yes. And I can understand that it's more preferable than ethanol for the hospital situation, but if you're doing it constantly, if you're actually going to rinse your hands or something, I would prefer to use ethanol. It's a little more tolerable to the human body, the metabolizing, than IPA is. Alright, well, we have to try and get back our pads and everything on that HS105 switch. That's going to be fun. It's definitely going to need some assistance. I don't think so much that it's bad for skin. It's just your body has a harder time dealing with IPA. Don't quote me on that. Ooh, we're down. What's it? It's a scratchback. We can fix that. I do not know where the pads are on this. Okay, those two are there. Looks like some more scratchy required. Yes, the medical staff need the ethanol to get them through until they can get their next morphine shot. Did anyone see that Daniel Radcliffe mini-series type thing where he was in Russia or something like that, and he was a new doctor? And he kind of got himself a little bit hooked on morphine. Oh right, we're down to a veer on there. That's not good. I mean, obviously metho has the problem that you will get a blood alcohol reading. And so if you are on a driving license that explicitly prohibits you from having a blood alcohol reading, look at me go, I'm already at it, blood alcohol reading, then it's not a good thing to be working with. But if you do have an open license and you're allowed up to the .0 whatever, it's not so much of a problem. Unlike this, geez, that pad's gone completely. No, that's no good. What about this one? Not liking the chances on this one either. I have watched Horns, yes. I've seen that one. Thought it was pretty good too. Yes. What a mess. What a mess. Board archaeology. Quite right you are there, WCR. Yeah, there's no denying considering he had basically anything and everything he wanted after Harry Potter, it's quite impressive what he has gone out and still done. Like a real passion for doing his art, and that's great to see. Because you never quite know what's going on behind the scenes, but you can only hope that things are okay. Ah. I've been just cleaning away corrosion that's gotten underneath the coating on the board. So you kind of have to chase it all the way back. Otherwise what happens is the corrosion just sort of, even after you've washed it and covered over, it keeps on growing. It's kind of like tin pest in some ways. I'm not sure if you guys know what tin pest is. I'm assuming some of you do. Fixing things, another 5. Oh, come on. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you fix test equipment instead. The only trouble with the test equipment is it's like, well, how often do you come to deal with the same one again? Ugh, come on. Yep, another trace gone. This is going to be a really interesting repair area. And look, I'll be honest, being a 3437 board, it's really probably not worth what I'm doing here, but this is for the sake of entertainment, I suppose. 3437, you probably get them new for $150 now. Well, not new, but, you know, working. Ah, man, so many of these test pad ends have got veers in them, so they have to be fixed. Vin, it was probably an accident. I really don't know what the history of how this acquired the damage, but most likely it was someone spilled something on it, or maybe a big insect got onto it. Yeah, that bottom trace there is going to be a real pain. At least we got the veer there, so it's a good start. Sorry, just playing with the focus here. One eye says, "You ain't getting focus anywhere, buddy." uh, Alright, the first thing I want to find out is this veer here, which attaches to this pad that's no longer there. I want to find out where that goes to, and it might be easier to just run a wire to another location. So bring up the flexboard view. Let's see, 3437. It's this thing here. Ah, it's PP5 VSO. So I mean, obviously the cap and yeah, there aren't really any sufficient. There's a test point over here with it, but I'd say we might just have to go and use the veer. Hey, Nuts and Proud, welcome. Hello. Yeah, I think we can put a little. Well, what we can try to do here is we can get a solder ball onto that. We can then put the cap on there, and then from the cap we can use the cap as a larger securing point, and then we can run the wire to there. Gives you an idea of how big those 0.35mm balls are. That's one right there. Now, see if I can get it to stick. 390/40. I'm gonna have to do better than that. We'll know if it sticks because it'll suddenly should jump into place. Yeah, let's see if it rolls off. Yep, rolls off. Wrong place, Mr. Ball. Bugger. Get another one now. Sorry. Hey, Micromanage Repair. I'm still awake because I was waiting for you, my love. Obviously, I'm kidding. But I thought I'd just change things up a bit. Hey, Chris Long's here. Hello, BC. Look, it's a smiley face now on my circuit board. Chris, where you been all this time? You recovered from COVID yet? I know your significant other, your important other, endured it a little bit more than it seemed like. Yes, quite right. The ball is certainly not cooperating, it seems. I may have to change to methods with a little more prejudice, extreme prejudice built in. Chris recommends more flux. Yeah, whatever, buddy. Whatever. What would you know? Anyway, Chris, you're on the one store these days, right? You still even working? We don't see any videos from you. Is your beard still with you? Or have you become beardless? Or reduced beard man? So many things you have to tell us. Always working is the issue. Check out that nice. Is that a brake? Yeah, it's a brake for sure. It's always a brake. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, that's not what we're caring about right now. We just need to get a ball attached to this stalk. Maybe less air. Ooh, we might have actually got that one. By golly, I think that is attached. It's a bit of a gamble, really, just relying on that, but, well, sometimes you just gotta do it. Of all the boards, I pull a 165 out. Aha, there we go. It does appear to have stuck, yes. Oh, that is some seriously messed up HS105 switch there. Fortunately, we're just after the cap in this particular instance, but by golly, that's messed up. No, Midnight Oil says the beds are burning. I'll measure that afterwards, Yummy State. Damn young whippersnappers trying to tell me what to do. Now, of course, what's really going to be fun here is when that cap, when that cap does flow into position, it will probably absorb a good portion of that ball onto its outer cap, and the ball will probably no longer have a contact with the stalk. Well, guess we'll see. And the way we know if we're successful or not is we'll just take a diode measurement. So we'll see what it is here. 375. And I'll go to another place on the board. Which is, I believe, here. And 372, that's pretty good to me. That's a pretty good match. And if you want extra proof, you go into continuity mode. Which some would probably say was the original mode it should have been in. To hell with you all. And it says open. Oh, joy. Wait, did I press the right one? No, I got the wrong one, that's why. The beautiful sound of continuity. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll put down a replacement switch chip, and shoot, we can't because I have to put the wire down. Damn it. To make the pad, because this particular chip, the pads are all on the underside, so you can't just go along and tag it in from the side. I mean, there's a tiny bit of area that you can attach onto, but I wouldn't trust it. And I just realized this trace also has to be redone. Ah, man. Two of them. Why am I doing this again? Is this all for the sake of entertainment? Is it worth it? I should be lying in bed watching cheesy sitcoms or something. I do love this lens wire. It's just so easy to tack it down. Oops, that's a bit too far. Oh, I forgot the extractor. The gauge of the wire, I think it's just point. Well, I don't know. It's fine. It's not as fine as what you use for, say, iPhone 7 audio, or touch type jobs. It's fractionally larger than that, but it's good for MacBooks. And like I said, it's nice that it will take solder very quickly. Yeah, I think about 0.01 is about right. I was trying to think how best to go about putting in this pad here. It's funny wire, because it's actually meant for crystal radio antennas and things like that. So it's like multi-strand high flex silicon wire, except that it's, well, every strand is insulated. Oh, it's definitely finer than what you wind your ferret rods with, yeah. This is more for when you string the 50-meter antenna out the back of the yard. No, I overdid it. Yeah, now I've got to decide how I want to do this, because like I said, I'm worried about, I suppose I'm not going to, okay, here goes. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Now the thing is, I do have to basically UV this now, and then I have to scratch it back. I gotta get all the flux out of the area, otherwise the UV won't really stick down properly. Get rid of this chunk here. It always looks so much more horrible when you dry it out. Trying to get it nice and thin, so it covers the job, but it doesn't pool into deep ponds of it. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, but I'll take it. Hey Firkin, welcome back. It was always funny how the focal length, well, it's not funny, it's science, but the focal length of ultraviolet is so much different to normal light. So like, under ultraviolet, that looks like it's focused. But if I go, there's your normal light focus, and it's completely out of focus, but your ultraviolet, it's in focus. It's a pretty good example of how the concept of different wavelengths of light. Up late, Star Delta, up late. This isn't a laser LED, it's only just, it's not a laser UV, it's just normal LED, so it takes a little longer. Yeah, I do prefer the blue. I mean, I have used green for quite a long time, but I think blue's the colour that I like personally. Alright, that's probably about done now. Yeah, so that's how I like it. See how it's covered, but it's thin. It's got that crystal clear look to it. That's how you know it's cured. It should be good. Alright, so now we've got to scratch back and reveal the pads. I just want to be careful because we don't want to, well, clearly we don't want to ruin the work that we've just done. I don't know why, but the UV stuff still does always have this wet finish still on it, and I don't know what causes that. It just seems to be the very top. It's not actually. So maybe I'm not storing it correctly, maybe it doesn't cure properly, or it's curing too slow, I don't know. Maybe someone can advise me. Shoot, broke through. It's not a big problem, but it's just more of imperfection. Wrong curing wavelength? Maybe, maybe. Well, bugger. Just get my knife blade down flat enough. Wow, so much for that, Paul. Bravo. The whole thing just chunked away. Not a major issue, I guess, though, because mostly what we care about is up here. Maybe I do need to get a laser. Damn it, that broke away too. Well, this suckety sucks now. Man, I put conscientious effort into that. Yeah, normally I do have the lamp set aside on over the side here, but yeah, I thought I'd just hold the LED one for the sake of this presentation, but clearly it's going to be a not so great outcome. That's okay. This should still work. Now we just need a replacement switch, since the one that we looked at it was pretty beaten up. Ugh, and that one's missing. It's a fairly common component for me to use, so it's not unusual. Yep, that's missing too. It's a fairly common component, and it gets smashed a lot on donor boards, so it tends to not be that easy to get a replacement. Yeah, so I mean, look at the poor state of affairs of that one. Fortunately, it doesn't look as bad as some, but still, it's not great. With a small fluorescent lamp. Well, I've got a curing lamp on the side here. I just didn't use it this time around, so that'll be fancy and blind everybody with UV light. Seems like that little joke backfired on me. Okay, that's a little aggressive. That is not how it's supposed to go, my friends. Somehow I'm not overly convinced about that. Just gonna add a little bit more solder onto them. Oh, don't do that. one of the things I hate is when you put the micro pencil tip, when you push it through that coil cleaner, the Hacko, the bundle of brass or whatever it is. Every now and then I should say every now and then I misjudge it, and I whack the tip of the soldering iron right onto the lip of the containment that's holding that ball of brass coils or whatever. And it always freaks me out because I immediately think of just how damn expensive these tips are. If you've got one of these irons, you know what I mean. Not cheap to get replacement tips for. And they're not even the most expensive on the market. They're still not cheap. Struggling to get it to take. That's better. Well, we can only hope. What we can do is take a measure of the diode mode on that line, that 5 volt line now. I have a feeling it probably hasn't changed much, but it'll be interesting to see if it has, because now that that chip is on it, it should theoretically change a bit. 4.9, yeah, that's changed now. I think, what was it before, 5.32 or something like that, and now it's 0.49. Alright, now we've got to see what other damage we've got to fix here. That chip there needs replacing. It's got a nice chunk out of it. And we may as well replace this one over here too. This here is the Allsys Power Good gate array, as it were. Yep, those pillows are fluffy. Ah. Just gonna pull this up, have a look. Maybe consider putting it back down, I don't know. Yeah, that's good. Alright, now we've got to look for traces that are broken that do need to be re-established. Let's see. Okay, so the problem here is, like I said, we've got a veer, and that means it's going to be feeding to there, so we do need to fix that. That's the same. That needs a fix too. Oh, crikey. What have I done? I'm kind of curious to see if it has any inclination to boot at all right now. It's probably extraordinarily disinclined to boot. And I'm thinking I really should go to bed. It's 2:30. Like I said, I've got work in the morning. And you sadistic saps don't care. Sorry, I'm just looking for a DC inboard. One that I know works. Aha, there you are. Wait, you're not the one I grabbed. How did I end up with this one? Don't get your hopes up. If you get your hopes up, that's definitely not a good idea. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go to sleep. I'm crashing right now. Alright, let's plug it in. We'll get back to this tomorrow. Maybe. So, well, actually, it actually at least turns on. I don't know if we'll get a green blink, though. New... Oh, wait, it's 34:37, so... one more time. And now, when it comes back, we might get... It's actually running. Alright, that's pretty weird. Definitely not normal, not recommended. Clearly there's more things to fix. But it is actually operating, so that's quite something. Yeah, and people say that MacBook boards die at the blink of a hat. Well, that's kind of proof that you can have all manner of trashy damage going on there and it will still fire itself up. But it's like humans, you know. You can put us through a mincer and somehow we live, but then you just like touch in the wrong spot and you drop dead. So you just can't tell. Anyway, well, that is not a finished board. That needs a lot more work done to it. There's at least 3 or 4 traces we've got to rebuild. They may not be coming into play right now, but they may be involved in something like the sleep process or some other signaling, maybe sensors. So when we put it into a machine, it's probably going to run very slow, or it won't respond to the lid being shut and things like that. But at least we know it's alive. We know the CPU's alive. We know it's willing to go. It's a little bit crippled right now. So we'll get to it maybe tomorrow. Anyway, I am out of here. Thank you very much for everybody for being here tonight. And I hope we please the person who decided that they don't like 3-hour streams, because I think we did better this time. How'd we go? Not quite. We only got 2 hours 42. But I'm not sticking around. I'm going to bed. I'll see you all tomorrow, maybe. Until then, you'll take care. I'll catch you later.